Hey guys, it's Ivan from Indoor Ivan. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you do so. In today's video, I thought I would just go over what it's like to put your plants outside. So we're transitioning all of our indoor plants back outside. Where I am in Ontario, just 2 weeks ago we had a lot of frost warnings and we got some snow. If you followed me on Instagram, I posted a story of the snow we got about 2 weeks ago. And it's hard to believe now that we're going to be hitting temperatures that feel like, with the humidity, into the 30s. So our overnight temperatures now have been quite consistent. They've been staying above 10 degrees, and that usually is my kind of benchmark that I use to kind of figure out if it's safe to put plants outside. So right now we're hovering around the low to mid-teens, which is good. So in this video today, I'm going to be showing you a few of the plants that I put outside and how I transition the plants to their different spots. So for this video today, we are going to be using an app, HPJ Light Meter. If you follow Daryl from the Houseplant Journal, he actually has a light meter. If you just want to kind of see your lighting situation but don't want to invest in something so big, the app is a great option just to kind of figure out and quantify that light that we have. So I'll be showing you kind of light under my grow light and what that's like in terms of intensity, and then kind of what we see outside and the intensity of that light, whether it's full sun or shade. So let's begin. Alright guys, so here is my plant shelf. So as you can see, some of my plants that were here have been moved out. Just as they slowly transition out there. I only have so much space in the shade, so not all of my plants are out there at the moment. And if you take a look, there's my cat, Mimi, taking her afternoon nap. So right here, we're going to take out our, and you can see me there, our light meter app, and we're going to see, just to quantify the intensity of the light. I often talk about how when we have our plants under grow lights, we want to make sure that they're close enough to the light just for that intensity, because the moment you move further and further away, the intensity drops quite quickly. So if we put our light meter app here, so as you can see, we're kind of hovering in the 7,000s there. And we're probably about 20 centimeters or so away from the light. And just so that way you can see the intensity as it drops, we're going to go down here, which is probably more than 30 centimeters. And as you can see, we're already in the low thousands. So if we think about light that our fluorescent lights give us in the office, it is quite low. So something to keep in mind when you're growing plants in the office as well. And as you can see, as I slowly move back up, we're again back up in the closer to 7,000 there. Alright guys, so we are outside right now in full sun. You can see some of my seedlings that I've been hardening off here. But right now we are in full sun. It is bright, there is nothing shading, and if we take a look at the intensity of our sunlight here, it's so bright, I don't know if we can actually see it on here. So let's see. If you take a look, it is bright. So we're in the 65,000s in terms of intensity here. That is quite intense, and that's why we don't put our houseplants right into full sun. You want to transition them out to get used to that sunlight, and then also that wind as well. So as our houseplants have been growing, they haven't been used to a lot of the environmental challenges that outdoor plants take. So a lot of that temperature fluctuation, the sunlight, and the wind. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to head over to a shady part of the garden where I put some of my plants here. So right here we have one of our shrubs, and I put our string of pearls and our string of tears. So they're getting used to the outdoors. And if we take a look at our sun, or that intensity, we are hovering like in the 5,000s or so. And this is with the sun at the angle it is right now. So if you think about that, we are protected by this nice shrub, this lilac bush, and we're still getting quite a bit of sun coming through, almost that same intensity as under the grow light. So if we think about that, it is very important that you transition your plants. So if you're bringing your plants outside, think about seeing if you can hide them under a shrub. The other option is if you have a shady spot, like with an overhang. So I have some plants over here that I just plopped out. So this is my spider plant from my classroom and my monstera, which kind of struggled over the winter. But this is over a little roof overhang. And if we measure the sunlight here, you can see that this is still very bright. So this is like in the 8,000. So this sunlight here is stronger than the intensity of light it was getting. My jade plant was getting under that grow light when we were in the 7,000s. So it is quite bright here as well. So I hope that video was helpful, just to help you get a look at the intensity of sunlight. So kind of the takeaway from this video is really just to make sure as your plants come outside, transition them. So start them in the shade, whether it's an overhang, hide them under a shrub, so that way they get used to the outdoor lighting, because it's quite intense. As your plants get used to that light, you can slowly transition them into brighter light. So if you have any full sun plants, you can transition them and get brighter and brighter. What you don't want to do is just plunk them into that bright sun. If you saw one of my Instagram stories, I posted, I think it was a few days ago, my fiddle fig that I put out, and it can take that southern south-facing window and that light. I put that under an overhang and I thought it was okay. The afternoon sunlight at that angle got to it and it burnt a little bit. So it is important that you transition your plants so that way they get used to that lighting. And of course, as your plants are outside, it's windy. So make sure you get on top of that watering as well. Anyways, that's it for today. It's quite hot. It already feels like 26 and I'm not used to it. So I'm going to head back inside. Until next time, bye.